product provided by Manga Gamer. For more information on this and other Manga Gamer products, please visit www.magagamer.com. But remember, you must be 18. Welcome everyone to His Chuunibyou Cannot Be Cured. That's probably a horrible mispronunciation, and you are free to punch me. Let's get into it, shall we? I had to look this up. I didn't know what Chuunibyou was. So basically what it is, it's like a condition in which adult people, or people like in like 8th grade or whatever, believe that they are like super smart, or basically geniuses that basically look down at everyone else, alright? It's usually like middle school, but it happens in adulthood too, I guess. It's like an actual condition, apparently. At least it is an anime. Let's start. Manga Gamer. Alrighty. Well, I think the first thing you should know is that this is an early access title. It did get funding. There's a demo you can play on the website, which I will link to in the description, the early access Kickstarter. It raised like $12,000 or like $12,000, $13,000, $14,000, something like that. So it did pretty well. I think they definitely hit their goal. I don't know when exactly it will be released, but there is a paid version you can play. It's $15. This one was gifted to me by our fine folks at Manga Gamer, home of all your visual novel needs. I wake up with a start. I don't think there's voice acting, so be prepared to have your ears destroyed. Not again. You know, I can't remember exactly when it started, but for the longest time, I've had a recurring dream. In my dream, I'm in a dark place. I can't see, hear, or feel anything. All I know is that I'm covered in darkness. I wait. I always wait. Sometimes I wait for just a couple minutes. Sometimes for it feels like hours. Sometimes, you know, it just seems like I have to wait for an eternity before something comes. Because something always comes. It always starts as a light at the end of a long, dark tunnel. It shines brightly in that small light, but it's simply not enough to fully repel the darkness that surrounds me. I stare at it. I always stare at it. Sometimes for a second, sometimes for a minute, sometimes, you know, for an hour. And then I see a silhouette. A silhouette of a man. He's standing right in front of the light. And then it gets bigger. Whoever it is, it's moving closer to me. Closer. I try to call out for it, but no voice comes out from my lips. Closer, closer, closer. The lie is disappearing slowly. I can feel the panic bubbling, rising, bursting up from inside me. But before the silhouette can reach me, I always wake up. Always. I still can't figure out the meaning of it. But that's alright. I'm sure I'll figure it out someday. Maybe I'll read that Carl Jung book I have. I rub the sleep out of my eyes as I stretch my body. That's a nice calendar. The sun feels awfully hot today. Usually I don't mind. But today though, the warmth of the sun's rays just makes me feel extra lazy. Now I know how cats feel all the damn time. Come to think of it. I wonder what time it is now. It's 1:52 in the morning. I glance at my digital clock by my bed. Can't help but widen my eyes at the blinking 7 o'clock on the screen. What? No way! Jump out of my bed in an instant and hurry to the restroom. Wait. As I get to the door, though, I realize something that makes me stop in my tracks. Why am I worried? I could just use my power to solve this dilemma in a pinch. Yes, my power. I close my eyes and concentrate hard. I have a power that allows me to do anything I want, as long as I want it hard enough. After a full 2 minutes of concentration, I sigh. Guess I won't be able to get it to work today. Maybe tomorrow. Using my power is usually hit or miss. Most of the time I fail, but I don't give up. I won't give up. I know that in the future the day will come when I won't fail anymore. For now though, guess I have to do this on my own. Oh shoot, I'm still late. I rush over to the bathroom only to be interrupted by somebody suddenly coming into my room. Jun, are you done changing? We're late. It's my little sister, Shira. Well, okay, she's not really my sister, so I don't know why I said that. My parents adopted her when she was a baby, so she is kind of my sister, half-sister, whatever they call them. She's already a high school freshman, but sometimes I think that she still has the mentality of a 6-year-old. That includes her barging into my room even when I'm only half dressed and not feeling embarrassed about it. God, what a hassle. Damn kids. Jun, the driver's already waiting downstairs. Why are you still in your jam? I have a driver? She runs out of my room, still screaming. Junie's still in his jammies. I want to run after her to shut her up, but I manage to stop myself. Oh, for goodness sake, I don't have time for this. I'm late. Where's that pocket watch? My name is Jun Mizushima. Third-year high school student at Higurashi High. A member of the school's Young Developers Club. And I'm the leader of my very own game development group, not to brag or anything. It's pretty big news on campus. Also, I have superpowers. I know you're jealous. School's bell rings, signifying the end of this day's lessons. I grab my bag and run towards the next building, panting and gasping along the way. Why are these goddamn buildings so far apart? Can't believe just how late I was to everything today. I mean, you get behind, and then, it just rolls over, the whole day. This morning, I got scolded by my homeroom teacher because I was 15 minutes late to my first class, which like she knows anything. During lunchtime, I wasn't able to get my favorite meal at the cafeteria, like usual, because they already run out by the time it was my turn at the counter. Damn it, I'm never going to get those pork buns. After class, I was supposed to go to the library to borrow a book that I could use for inspiration in my next game, but when I arrived, they were already closed. God forbid a man wants to read a book now and again, and it's closed. Today was the first day of classes after summer break. Couldn't have been any better. Hey, look, it's that freak. Hey, freak, what magic are you doing today? Magic? He does magic? That's what he thinks. I sigh, rubbing my forehead in irritation. God, such an asshole. A lot of people don't understand how difficult it is to wield superpowers. They don't understand because they're not in the know. They think it's easy to be a defender of justice, but it's not. I've had this power for years, but until now, I still can't get them to work perfectly. But I have them, I do. Using them is usually hit or miss. Many times it's the latter, but sometimes I do manage to get something done. Luckily. He sounds like a Chuunibyou to me. I'm just gonna... Chuuni, that's what I'm calling it. I flinch upon hearing the term. It's not the first time I've heard that said about me, by the way. I hear it sometimes, spoken in hushed voices like I can't hear them, but I hear them. Hallways, the classroom, cafeteria, quiet conversations I was never meant to be part of, but, I know. That's what they call me. They call me a freak. Chuni. But that's not me. Chuni's someone with delusions of power. You know, delusions being the key word there. I don't have delusions of power. I have powers. I know that for a fact. I do. What a weirdo, huh? The proudest look I can muster. I just walk past them, not letting their words get to me. Because that's how they win, you see. As I get further away, I start running. I am late, after all. This day can't possibly get any worse. But watch it get worse right when I hit the enter button. Stop for a while to catch my breath after arriving at my destination. This new building was recently built in order to host all the clubs in our school. We're a pretty big deal. I mean, we got our own building for clubs. It's not really mandatory, but everyone's encouraged to join at least one. You know, you don't want to be a social outcast or anything like that. Apparently for a more holistic kind of education. Luckily, students have the option to join a whole variety of clubs. I said, I don't want to join these clubs. I made my own. There are social clubs, art clubs, talent clubs, academic clubs, and of course computer science clubs like the game development club that I'm in. Within the club, we are also further subdivided into 2 different groups. I have my own group, along with 4 other fellow members who are also interested in games. Most computer science clubs aim to complete at least one program or software before the end of the year, and game development groups are no different. This semester, though, my group plans on finally releasing our very first game. It's called His Shinobi Cannot Be Cured. What that is, though, I have no idea, to be honest. Before classes ended last spring, we agreed to come up with different ideas on our own. Today, we'll finally see if we can start making our own game. I pushed the door open, wearing a tired smile on my face. Man, you would not believe the day I've had. Hey, what's up? Sorry I'm late. Today has been a pretty long day. They all look at me with various degrees of boredom on their faces. Still, I keep smiling. Try not to let the less than warm welcome affect me. Hey, man. This guy's name is Takahiro Fukuyama. Let's call him Taka for short. Just like I call Chuni for short. You can't shorten Jun, though. That would be racist. He's a really good programmer, which is why I have him in my group. I don't want to brag about my team or anything, but Takahiro was considered a prodigy by our previous club advisor. You know, I attract only the best talent. Yeah, I remember clearly. The day he said that Taka was going places someday, you know. Said that straight to Taka's face, you know, in front of everybody. If only I wasn't so damn lazy, that is. Hey, long time no see, man. Approaches me and raises his hand to give me a high five, but the awkwardness on his face is pretty apparent. I'm willing to bet that he's trying to hide something from me, you know, like, I can't see right through him, right? What'd this guy do again? God, you lost the code again? What seems to be the problem, Taka? Well... Before Taka could reply, Yui Kitamura jumps in between us. She's one of our good friends, as well as the second member of my group. Yui was originally a band guitarist and vocalist before she decided to get into game development. Quite a weird change if I do say so myself. But you know what? I don't judge. Welcoming all. As far as I know, she still does gigs for different events every now and again. And she's so versatile that she can sing practically any kind of song. She can even code her own Guitar Hero song and even play the songs. It's pretty impressive. This summer, she had gone to a wedding reception in order to perform some ballads. That's pretty cool, right? She sang so well that the younger brother of the bride apparently developed a crush on her. Nice. I heard that he likes her so much, he repeatedly asked Yui for her number, trying to get a date. Keyword, trying. Oh, you know what? I never knew what happened after that. Oh, maybe I should ask her sometime. Now, would that be prying? Or would that be prying, right? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I should ask for an update. Maybe. One of these days I will. Yui grins widely at me. Hey, what are you so happy about? Ask him what he was doing while we're waiting for you. I just stare at Takahiro's face, pretending to guess. He's obviously, and failing, to look innocent. Not that it matters anyway. Knowing Taka, it's fairly easy to guess just exactly what he was doing. I don't even have to use my powers to do it. Let's see what they have to say first. You tell me. You didn't even guess. I think it's better if I hear from you. Fine. The grin on Yui's face only seems to have gotten bigger. He's been playing video games. Taka gives her a glare. Oh geez, thanks for selling me out, Kitamura. No probs, Taka. Taka rolls his eyes in irritation before turning back to me. I was doing it for inspiration. Yeah. Inspiration, yeah. Just like I play all these H games for the quick looks, yeah. The quick looks. Inspiration might, but, Yui would just laugh, shaking her head. Never mind, we're here to discuss far more important things today. The two of them glance at each other, looking nervous all of a sudden. Even without using my powers, I can sense their aversion for the topic I'm about to propose. I presume you two already know what I'm talking about? Don't know. I let out a sigh. Guys, you know we can't just... To my surprise, somebody suddenly whacks my head from behind. What the hell was that? I already looked behind me while rubbing the sore spot on my head. I swear, if I get a bump from this... As expected, I see none other than Tsumiki Toyoguchi, the scenario writer for our game. How's that writing coming along? Oh, you haven't finished the page yet? You just keep at it. Also knows my childhood friend and eternal guest to my humble abode. Tsumiki, that hurt. I meant for it to hurt so that you will learn your lesson. She crosses her arm in front of her chest, looking visibly annoyed. Perhaps in this case, annoyed would be an understatement. If I didn't know her, I'd possibly assume she's angry at me. After all, her eyes look like hot coals burning right through every fiber of my being right now. But she always looks like that, so it's okay. Is this about... Yes, it's about you being late. Oh, here we go again. Well, I'm sorry, I guess. I mean, what do you want from me? Sorry? If only you'd woken up when I knocked on your door earlier, maybe you wouldn't have been so late. Fun fact about Tsukimi, she lives in my house. Yeah, I have to deal with that every day. What's your day like? Yeah, I lied about her being a guest. The truth is, she's been living in my house for a couple of years now. Hell, we practically grew up together. It's a pretty long story, though, and I'd rather not get into it right now. You knocked on my door? When? Her eyes seem to burn even hotter at my question. Do you not know that being late is not a good thing at all? Sorry, Mom. I do, but... No excuses. She walks toward the center of the room, sitting down rather harshly on the small couch. The couch makes a loud and rather obscene sound, making both Yui and Taka behind me laugh. This, however, doesn't even startle the girl right next to her, who's busy sketching at the moment. As a matter of fact, it doesn't seem like she has noticed the ruckus going on in the room. Sigh to myself. As always, she's in her own little world again. Meet Ai Takanashi, my team's artist. An aspiring mangaka, whatever the hell that is. She never fails to practice her drawing skills every single day. I'm assuming she wants to write manga one day. It's in the word. You know. Not that she needs to, you know. If there's one thing I know about her, it's that she's one hell of an artist. A very diligent one, too, to boot. Sometimes, though, she tends to go a bit overboard, you know, sketching even when she's not meant to be sketching. But I suppose that's how one perfects their craft, right? Kinda like it right now, I guess. I walk up to her, hoping she'll at least notice me standing in front of her. I don't want to wave my hands in front of her eyes again. She got mad last time. A few seconds pass. She's not even looking up from her sketchpad. I move a little bit closer, trying to block the light, you know. To my surprise, or perhaps not, she just smoothly moves away, recapturing the light on her drawing once more. Oh, well, what did I expect, really? I mean, I finally decide to speak up. We're not going to get anywhere unless I do, after all. Hey, Ai. What's up? Pencil stops moving, but her eyes still planted on her drawing. I wait for a few more seconds until she slowly finally looks up at me. Hey there, Jun. I didn't notice you. Yeah, right. I noticed. Hey, how's your art coming along? It's good? Oh, that's beautiful. What is it? Without a word, she raises a sketchpad to my face. To my dismay, all I see are random doodles and sketches, nothing related to the game project at hand. In one sketch, though, I can see what seems to be Yui and Taka fighting over a pretty girl. Is that Tsumiki? I smile mischievously to myself. Wow, her drawing of Tsumiki seems even prettier than the real thing. So I imagine those two fighting over her? Even you, eh? That seems weird. Huh, nice. Can't help but smirk as I glance at Sumiki, who gives me an angry glare. But of course, perhaps even the world's best artist would not be able to fully convey Sumiki's evil look. Looking away from Sumiki, I smile at Ai. She just stares at me with a really bored gaze as I return her sketchpad. I like it. Thank you. We stare at each other awkwardly for a few more seconds before she looks down on her sketchpad once again. Oh, damn it, Jun, you suck. As the other three approach us, I sit on the opposite side of the table near the couch. We're just not talking? What's wrong? They all sit down beside me, looking very expectant. Sumiki seems to have calmed down at least. I still sketching, but I'm pretty sure she'll pay attention once the meeting starts anyway, if she realizes it starts. Seems like we're ready to begin. Alright, everyone here? Everyone counted for? Okay, let's go. All of them, including I, turn towards me. But before I can start talking, you suddenly puts one arm around me. So, man, what's the plan? Yeah, what's the plan? Give them both an evil glare. I'm going to tell you the plan. If you just let me tell you the plan. Just give me some space, okay? This is very important. I plan to start this meeting, that's what. Right, go on, go on. I heave in frustration. How much worse can these buffoons get? Clearing my throat, I look at each of them, one by one. I need to get new talent. Thankfully, they all look rather serious. Okay, alright. They're going to pay attention to me? Alright. So, as you know, our goal for this semester is to finally finish and release a game for the general public to enjoy. The general public to enjoy. No hentai games, guys. You know, we've had this discussion in the past. As members of our school's Young Developers Club, it's our duty to show everyone that we've got something to offer all of them. And also, so they don't think we're wasting this club's money. We shouldn't let them down, right? Alright. Hell yeah. Righto. Righto, really? Right. I smile triumphantly as I raise my hand to my face. Alright, I'm glad you all seem so psyched about this. So, here's the plan. For today, we'll start pitching our ideas together, you know, try to get an idea going, you know. Personally, what I have in mind is a visual novel and RPG hybrid. I believe the latter shouldn't be too hard for Taka to code anyway. Takahiro just gives me a thumbs up. You know, so basically, it's a story-based adventure game, like a visual novel, but with battle scenes similar to traditional console games. Any comments? Any suggestions? Anything? No? Okay, I'll continue. That sounds good. Alright. I've got no problem with it. Alright. Great to know you guys agree. Yui has not said anything, so I'm worried she will not agree. Now let's hear your ideas. Guys? All of a sudden, this room suddenly gets quiet. I swear I can hear a pin drop in this place. And I feel stuffy, you know, just like a thick cloud just appeared out of nowhere and decided to weigh us down. Nobody dares utter a single word. I stare at them, waiting for answers, but they all just share glances with each other. Look at some panic and worry crossing their face. Guys? What's going on? Still nothing. I sigh. This is exactly what happened last time. That's why until now we still haven't completed a single game. Gosh, I swear I need new talent. Nobody seems to want to take initiative, you know, to take the lead, to just start it, you know. Before we went on break, I told everyone to think things through and prepare their suggestions for next term. I hoped that they would be bursting with ideas now. Or even just a single one at the... Give me something to work with here, people. Seems like I was wrong. I need new talent. I didn't want to do this, but I guess if I want to get some input from these people, you know, drastic times call for drastic measures. I turned to Sumiki in order to ask her if she could share us her thoughts. Before I can call her, though, she already starts speaking on her own. I am not sure if this is possible, but perhaps we can make a game that is more focused on romance. Sumiki, our game is focused on romance. We're gonna make a visual novel with RPG elements, remember? She not. Well, not all visual novels have like romance elements. I mean, most of them do, obviously. No. She nods, laughing nervously. Of course, I remember. I just thought perhaps we should focus more on the story, that's why. Well, story is important. Gameplay is important too. But you can have the best playing game in the world, but if you're not really engrossed in it, it's gonna kind of suck. She brings up a valid point. I nod, pondering over her input. And it's definitely something we can consider, given our genre of game. I open my mouth to speak, only to be cut off by Yui suddenly exhaling beside me. I turn to her. With a frown on her face, she doesn't exactly seem pleased about this development in the discussion. Hey, that's not right, Sumiki. Sumiki looks appalled. Excuse me? Takahiro frowns at her from his peripheral vision. Yeah, it's not. What? What's wrong with story in a VN, okay? You guys got a problem with it? You can go develop in someone else's programming club. Oh, wait, that's right, there isn't one. This time, Sumiki seems thoroughly confused. Even I'm confused. What's going on here? Come on. Did I say something wrong? Yui nods. The way she does it makes it appear like Sumiki just committed a mortal sin. Yui being Yui once again. You know, it's sometimes crazy how passionate this girl can be about something. You know, sometimes she doesn't give a damn, but, you know, sometimes she just cares way too much. Come to think of it, you know, the same could be said about the rest of the team, too. Tell me, did I say something wrong? Now Sumiki is looking very gravely at Yui. Man, talk about two very passionate individuals. Ugh, getting a headache. Yeah, you did. What? Yui strikes a serious pose first before answering. Couldn't stop my eyeballs from trying to roll in the back of my head. You tried to shift our focus of game development to writing. Sumiki blinks at the other girl. And what's the matter with that? You know, our game should have all the best music. We all know that without music, a game is practically dead. I don't know about that. I mean, music is important, sure, but it's not, you know, not the end-all be-all. So why must we focus on writing when we should also consider the musical quality? Oh my god, here we go again. Wait, I think suddenly I makes a small noise. I? Without art, what will the game even look like? What, you don't like my idea of a person in a visual novel who's completely blind and has to decide girls based on personality? Oh, it was a genius idea, I swear. One of these days I'm going to make that game. I can't draw, so it'd be perfect. Game isn't all about writing or music. Art is more important in my opinion. But you're an artist, of course that's what you're bound to think. Sumiki waves her hands in front of her face, trying to get Yu's attention. You look, I never said that those other elements aren't important. All I was saying was that I'd rather focus first on the story, because I believe that is the most important part. And in that genre, I would agree. Once we finish it, then we can already move on to... Nope, not true. Not even an inch. Oh. What is it now? What? Takahiro slides out from the couch, moving closer to the table in the center of the room. With a serious air to him, he looks at us one by one. You guys are all forgetting the real most important part. Which is... Taka grins at all of us like a monkey who just got in the last banana. Why, the programming, of course. God damn it, dude. Fine, you're right. Obviously, if you can't program the fucking game, you're not gonna have a game. I hate to admit it, but the buffoon may be right. So what do you think? Now, you may be right, but don't take my word for it. Glad you get it, my man. Without the programming, the game won't even exist as a game. Yeah, you smart ass. Yeah, we get it, okay. Might as well be a painting or a song or a book, right? What, do we want to become the writing club now? I'd be down for that. Since we're a game development group, surely programming is the most important part. Yeah, programming is probably the most important part, you know, technically speaking, but artistically speaking and narratively speaking, it's not. The other three all glare at Takahiro angrily. Try creating a game without a story, then. I'm sorry, Sumiki, but it's possible to create a game without a story. Without art, however. Music is the soul of all forms of media, except written ones. Game is no different. Nah, don't even try to compete with programming. Okay, okay, everyone, I know you're all on your high horses. You think your job is the most important one of all. I get it, you know. You know, you all have kind of egotistical bitches. But it's fine. Because technically programming is the most important. The four of them continue bickering with each other, getting louder and louder as the seconds tick by. We're not getting anywhere. This time, the room is starting to feel smaller and smaller, almost suffocatingly so. The noise of the petty fighting is already irritating my ears. I just sigh, pinching the bridge of my nose. I wonder if they even remember what we're here for. Maybe I can use my power right now to stop this. And I close my eyes, concentrating really hard. I know if I try hard enough that I can do whatever I want. That is my power. And with it, I can make them stop fighting. I can hear the bickering getting fainter. It's working. It's working. Fainter still. Finally, everything's quiet. Ah, it worked. Whew, thank goodness I got them to stop. I open my eyes, only to see all four of them staring at me with confused expressions on my face. On their face, sorry. Hey man, what's wrong with you? I just smile at them, shaking my head. Glad you know my power didn't let me down this time. Yeah. Don't tell me. Were you trying to conjure some sort of trick again, Jun? I hear Sumiki groan quietly. I look at her, and she just stares at me without saying a word. I think I can guess what's going on in her mind, though. Freak. I've been practicing my power at home for quite some time now, and I know Sumiki has seen some of those practice sessions. Nevertheless, she says nothing about it, probably for the best. And not to me nor anyone else. I shake my head, waving one hand dismissively at them. Here they are, treating my power like some sort of magic trick again. When are they ever going to know, right? You know, if I want to, I bet I could use my power to solve this issue with a snap of the finger. But I'm not going to do that. I don't want to get in the habit. They just all stare at me blankly. So we're going to have to do this manually. Are you ready to discuss like adults now? Sumiki crosses her arm across her chest. She leans back on the couch. I nods, looking at me attentively. Takahiro and Yui both shrug, but I see that they're once again willing to talk it over instead of just bickering about it. Alright guys, here's the thing. We're not in competition with each other, alright? We're a team. We're all here to work together on a single goal, and that is to make a game. We're not here to compare which element of the game is the best. Whether it's writing, art, or music, or programming, that doesn't matter at all. What matters is that we managed to put all of those elements together in order to finish a game. Understand? 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 Good. Understand. Cloud in the room seems to have immediately lifted at my question. All four of them nod, much to my relief. That said, that we have to start somewhere. We have to have an idea. And I suggest we decide on just one thing for now. I eye you carefully. Just to be clear, this does not in any way, shape, or form mean that I'm holding one element higher than the other. This is just going to be the starting point of our discussion, okay? Our guitarist and singer scoffs at me. Yeah, I get you, man. Taka laughs, shaking his head. So, what do you suggest? Is that alright with you guys if I decide? Well, yeah, of course. Then I say first let's discuss the... right. Sumiki just blinks at me, but it seems like she's relieved to hear my decision. Any comments? Taka sighs, shaking his head. I don't get you, but I understand. Good, okay, then if we can... Yui raises her hand. To be honest, I was expecting her to do so anyway. What? Why writing? Why not writing? We're going to have to discuss it at some point. You got a problem with it right now? Sumiki looks at her simply. Writing is the way to go, especially for story-based games such as ours. Thank you. The comment point only makes Yui frown even more. Nah, it's not. First and foremost, this is still a game. Why should we focus on the writing first? It's a story-based game, first and foremost. Why not gameplay or other things? Sumiki shifts slightly in her seat. Knowing her, she's probably thinking of something right now. Well, I say it is important in this case. After all, how would you start a game without knowing how it ends? Good point. Takahiro clears his throat. Yeah, I get it. Programming is all important. I don't think we can accurately tell of now how it'll end. I looks at us uncomfortably. I have to apologize, Sumiki, but I agree. We're gonna fight again. Are we never gonna get anything done in this group? I need new members. Sumiki shrugs her shoulders helplessly. I can tell her from the way she's acting right now that her doubting is already getting to her. However, we should at least have a vague idea, right? Taka tilts his head to the side, looking indecisive. I guess you do have a point, but still. A point is a point, but I say we take a look at the other options. Other options? I don't know what to say anymore. They all continue their squabbling as I sigh, shaking my head. Instead of spending time thinking of a new game element or plot point, here we are, fighting about what to focus on first. This is why games never get developed. You know, they say the first step is always the hardest, but golly, gee, I didn't know it would be this hard. Look. You guys asked me to choose, and I chose. What do you want from me? I'm taking all your points here and considering them, but I'm making my decision based on what I think is the best choice for the whole team. Sumiki's got a point, alright? We can't all just deny that. Make sure to look at each one of them, trying my hardest to see if they're one with me or not. It's much easier to know where we go if we've got a map. Yui stares at me pointedly. And writing is gonna be our map, huh? I shrug at her. Well, what else? Gameplay is the least of our problems. We already know what kind of game we're going to make after all. What we don't know is what our actual finished project will be like. And focusing on what the story will be about, well, that is the writing, will help us with that. Sumiki just looks at them, her face serious. Okay, basically, all I'm saying is that our game is a story-based one, so her point is definitely a valid one. What do you guys say? For a few seconds, none of them say a word. But I can feel that they're a lot more accepting now of my decision than they were just a few minutes ago, though. I understand. I shall stand by your decision, then. Alright. You're the boss. Yeah, unfortunately. I just roll my eyes at them. Be a little more enthusiastic, will you? We're on the brink of our first breakthrough in our new game. That's pretty exciting, right? What are you doing? Takahiro laughs, nudging Yui with his elbow. Hear that, Yui? Yeah, no objections here, Your Honor. You're off the team. Hope I didn't hurt your feelings, Sukumiki. Sukumi? I always call her Sukumi. Sumiki just gives her a dry smile. I'm used to your antics, Yui Kitamura. Whew, thank God that's over. Alright, time for break. Half hour passes and the meeting is finally over. We've discussed exactly nothing. With everyone dismissed, Sumiki and I decided to go home together, as always. I mean, we do live together. It would only make sense. But for today, though, we decided just to walk home. Walking is good. It calms me down. Usually, I have the family driver take us practically everywhere we want, but these days, I find myself wanting to walk more and more, you know. I care about Mother Earth and all that stuff. It's a good thing Sumiki isn't that bothered by it, unlike Shiro, who still insists on being transported everywhere by car. She's a spoiled brat, so it's okay. Spoiled kid. Hey. To my surprise, Sumiki suddenly speaks up beside me. Hey, what's up? Honestly, she was so silent that I had already retreated inside my own thoughts. Yeah, what's up? Why did you choose my side earlier? I give her a confused gaze, pretending to be innocent. Yeah, I know that Sumiki doesn't really like receiving help from anyone, or even acknowledging that she needs help. I've never understood a reason for this, but I do refrain from talking about it because I know that it is sensitive material for her. And that's why even in cases where I know I've helped her, I try not to bring it up anymore in the future. Your side? Yes. She looks down, her eyes reluctantly flitting up to meet mine. The way her hands are folded towards her body tells me that she's not completely comfortable with her own question. You had plenty of other choices. You didn't have to pick my side. No, I know I didn't have to pick your side. I could have picked anyone else's side. I could have picked the programming side. I could have picked the art side. I could have picked the music side. But I picked your side because it's what I felt was more important. Is what I wanted to say. But here's what I actually said. I didn't pick your side. She looks at me, a question in her eyes. Hey, you think I'd actually pick writing just because you're the writer? I pick writing because it's really the most logical choice. Faint hint of pique spreads across her cheeks, and I realized that she must have felt embarrassed at my reply. But it was not. I was not implying that you picked it all because of me. I see then. She stammers, stumbling over her own words. I want to chuckle at how different she's behaving right now, but I know she'll probably kill me if I do, so I don't. I'm just kidding. You're probably the reason, of course, but I bet you already know that. The pink in her cheeks now blossoms into a full red color, like a rose that blooms in the spring. You... Sumika gives me a death glare, looking quite angrily. You should not have done that. Even if it was just part of the reason. She's still looking at me with an irritated look, but I can see that somehow she looks relieved. And what can I say? I trust you a whole lot with this project, and knowing that we're going to focus on your part first makes me less worried that we're not going to make much progress. Her eyes soften a bit as she looks at me with a dazed expression on her face. You trust me? Of course I trust you. Do you still have to ask that? I don't know. Gently stab a finger on her temple. You don't. You're one of the best people I've ever known. And I don't think I need to use my powers in order to show you that. She just stares at me, not saying anything. My mind drifts back to the day that I first got her to join my game development team. Flashback. It's in black and white, that's how you tell. Slumped down at my desk, feeling exhausted. It's been a few days since I last came up with a decent idea for the next game. Beginning to think that I might be running out of ideas. But no, of course, that's impossible. Can't possibly run out. That's injustice. And that's not me, because I'm the defender of justice. I feel a surge of motivation suddenly pump through me. Alright, let's go. I bend down to start writing, only to notice Sumiki standing in the corner of the room, dusting shelves. Ah, hey. Why are you dusting shelves? Are you the maid? Our eyes meet, but she just gives me a brief smile before going back to her cleaning. I mean, we have a driver. I assume we're pretty well off. Why are you dusting shelves? I shrugged to myself. It's Sumiki being Sumiki, after all. I continued jotting down some thoughts on paper. No. Nah. Writing sucks. Why is it so hard? Crumpling the loose leaf papers in my hand, I throw them over my shoulder in frustration. It's still not... To my surprise, something hard suddenly hits my head. Sumiki, what was that for? That was injustice. Injustice? You call that injustice? Maybe you should look behind you to see the real injustice. Turn around. What? Oh, the floor is littered with all the crumpled papers I discarded earlier. Ah. You're right. I need a trash can. Sorry? Sorry, not sorry? She makes a tut-tut sound, shaking her head. So what are you doing anyway? I'm drafting ideas for a new game I'm designing. Can I see some of those? You. She takes the paper still on my desk and quickly reads them over. Fascinating. Give me a pen. Without a word, I hand her one, and she moves right next to me and leans over the desk. To my surprise, she starts scribbling some words on the paper right beside my own. I crane my neck to peek into what she's writing, but she shields the paper with her arm. Not yet. What's she doing? Is she adding some stuff? Wait, is this supposed to be injustice, or... Done. Quick as a flash, she straightens up, handing out the papers to me with a big smile on her face. Here you go. Hesitantly, I take the papers from her hands. Let's see what you got here. Proud smile on her face still doesn't wane, as even as I start reading what she was written. And I see that she has a reason to be proud. This is... She beams at me, waiting for my next words. Wow. My ideas from earlier now had corrections, suggestions, and further expansions just after she did her quick work on them. Sometimes I forget that you're so good at this kind of thing. What kind of thing? Storytelling? I'm not good. I just happen to have a lot of time is all. No, you're good. Reading over the paper again, I give Sumiki a grateful smile. So, do you still have a lot of free time? Slight hint of suspicion suddenly appears in her face. For a few seconds, she says nothing, merely appraising my expression. She's always like that. Always analyzing first, never giving in quickly. She's smart like that. Even after years of living together, there are times where I feel like she doesn't fully trust me. Not that I blame her for it. Besides, I know her well enough to know the truth. I do. But that still depends on the answer to my question. Which, what question? Why do you ask? I just want to ask you to be my writer. Be your writer? Yeah, writer. Game writer. Yeah, game writer. Well, Mr. Game Developer, you might want to tell me first about what kind of game you're developing before you ask me to be on board. Your ideas are so diverse, they could have all been made by different people. Scratched the back of my head, giving her a sheepish smile. Well, it's an Otome game. for women. And a Tommy game. Yeah, a dating sim to be exact. No, for girls. You know, like Amnesia Memories. Dating sim for girls. Yeah. Written by a guy. She glances at the papers that are still in my hands. These ideas are all the scenes that would take place in the game. I don't have experience regarding, you know, these kinds of scenes. So, before I saw you doing today, before I saw you doing today, were you already planning to make this a Tomy that you're talking about? Well, yeah, I've been wanting to make one for the longest time. I like Atomi games. Don't judge. Sumiki looks at me blankly, before suddenly hitting me on the head with her feather duster. Ow! If you don't have experiences, then how are you planning to write this game? Wing it? Another direct hit. You're hopeless. Sumiki, please help me. She looks straight at me, the fire burning in her eyes, feather duster still in hand. You don't have to ask me twice. I can't let you ruin a game on your own. I won't be able to accept that as long as I live. So, does that mean... Yes, for goodness sake, I'm in. I'm in. She puts down her cleaning equipment, grabs another chair, and sits right next to me. When do we start? Wait, no, I didn't mean now. I mean, the team still doesn't know that you... When do we start? You're pressuring me. Sumika gives me a devious smile before continuing. Yes, as a matter of fact, I am. On with the story. And that's how it happened. I smiled at myself as I do a little reminiscing. It's no surprise that Sumiki was there for me that time, like she's always been. She's a good girl. That's why I swear to myself, if she ever needs my help, I wouldn't hesitate to give it to her, whether or not she admits that she does need it. Why are you smiling? Oh, nothing. You're suspicious. Suspicious? Yes. I'm the least suspicious guy in the world. Sumiki looks at me sideways like, huh? You're the craziest one, though. Yeah, I couldn't help but laugh, even if there's nothing funny. Race you back home? The look on her face sends me roaring in laughter as I get a head start. June, that's injustice. The defender of justice should not be doing unjust acts. Wait for me. Oh, so she like buys into the whole defender of justice thing that we do? She's probably just humoring us. A few days have passed, and we're all starting to settle down once again in this brand new school term. Everything is the same as last term, actually. Cafeteria is always packed, the library is still sleepy students' favorite place. The garden is still occasionally visited by couples who really should be getting private rooms. You know, I'm no vower, but... And yet at the same time, it seems like everything has changed. It's weird how everything can stay the same, and yet it feels so different. This is really embarrassing, but I think I suck more in my academic subjects this term than last term. I mean, I get almost nothing in my classes these days, and I mean nothing. You and I seem to be having the same problem. To be honest, only Sumiki and Takahiro seem to be doing perfectly fine. I do hope this won't continue on for the rest of the term. Why do subjects have to get progressively harder as the years go by? I mean, it makes sense, but why? I suck more and more each year. You know, sometimes I wish I was just an elementary student again, you know? Man, oh man, I'd totally kick their asses and like fucking tic-tac-toe or something. Maybe if I had the same workload as them, I can work out on this game more. But no. Because I have to focus on school as well. I can't give this game my all, you know? Ugh, the struggles. And judging from the way these four are looking at their academic notebooks instead of our game resources this afternoon, I'd say they're having the same problem as well. This won't do, though. We absolutely have to start making some progress now. Maybe I could distract them for just a little while before we get busy with our academic load again. I clap my hands together, hoping to get everyone's attention. Of course, I's the exception to that again, but you know what else is new, right? What is it? Sumiki looks at me expectantly. The other two members simply stare at me with bored looks. It's about our game. What about it? I clear my throat before proceeding. The truth is, I'm not sure how to do this without appearing insensitive to their school stuff, too. I mean, after all, even I'm not doing so well with school. But club activities and school activities should be two separate responsibilities. How to say it in a nice way? Well, Just as I start speaking, the door suddenly slams open rather loudly, surprising all of us in the room. Oh, hello. Who are you? A dark-haired woman walks into the room looking very excited. Her name is Megumi Hori, and she is actually our club's very own advisor. Hello there, Miss. Do you have any announcements for us? Ignoring me completely. Kind of sad about that one. She just walks in the middle of the room, still looking giddy over something. Did you know? Sumiki's eyes her with an impatient look. Know what, miss? Oh, you don't know yet? Oh, that's a shame. Sumiki turns away slightly, rolling her eyes. Do you want to know? Well, I mean, not really. I mean, do I have to know? I mean, maybe I don't want to know. Yeah, I want to know. Know what? Her question comes out a little forcefully, but thankfully Miss Megumi doesn't seem to notice. Oh, it's fantastic! This time even I looks up from her drawing spree. Oh, what, I'm not enthusiastic enough for you? Whatever. She looks at Miss Megumi with even more curiosity than Sumiki. Fantastic. Yes, oh yes! The older woman walks towards the girls, nodding her head and looking very excited indeed. Can't help but shake my head at the scene right before me. The last thing we need right now is a teacher who's as childlike as Miss Megumi. Looking at it from this perspective, it actually seems like she's rather dreamy about whatever it is that she intends to tell us. Miss, you might want to tell us what you want to say first, don't you think? Miss Megumi whips her head to look at Yui, her eyes gleaming. Ah, that tone of yours when you're agitated is absolutely charming, my dear Kitamura. But a young lady like you has to learn to be a lot more polite, alright? Yui's face instantly turns a deep shade of red. Man, just spit it out. The older woman giggles first before replying. Oh, but you're right. I guess I should share the most fantabulous news I have. You better be ready for it. Man, this better be good. I've got work to do, lady. She bites her lip, trying to increase the tension and suspense. Are you ready? I glance around the... Yeah, fucking ready, just tell us. I still regarding her with the same curiosity, while Takahiro looks practically drooling, surprisingly. He's never been interested in any of the girls on our team. Poor guy. Taka, this is really not the time. Meanwhile, Sumiki's leaning back on the couch, a small smirk on her face. If I know, she's probably just ridiculing Miss in her mind right now. I can almost see it written right on her face. Miss, maybe you should just tell us now. For the first time since she entered the room, Miss Megumi turns to me. She pouts, giving a hurt expression. Don't do that. Please, don't do that. Oh, Jun, you're no fun. I've wasted like 5 minutes hyping up this announcement. But fine, fine. First, let me ask, do you know the game company Hailstorm? No, I know the band. Out of reflex, we all look at Takahiro. As expected, his eyes have taken on a very different expression at the mention of the word. Hailstorm? Currently the biggest development company in our country to date? Miss Megumi raises one finger up happily. Bingo! Takahiro leans forward from his seat looking undauntedly interested. I mean, you know, big developer, you know, it's like, hey, maybe we'll want to pay attention. As always, any mention of big name game development companies has this guy at the edge of his seat. Literally, like, he's gonna fall off. What about them? If this were an anime, and this is a VM, I'm sure stars would be shooting from his eyes right at this moment. You see, earlier today, the other advisors and I were notified about the annual International Game Development Jam for the youth. She pauses for dramatic effect. God, I hate when she does that. As you know, Japan doesn't usually join these competitions since we already have high-level technology here for game development. Boy, that's really cocky, don't you think? But this year, in order to match up to the other countries on the global scale, it appears that our country will be opening up the possibility of joining. Can't help but hold my breath. Now my interest is definitely piqued. After all, this is something I've been dreaming about since I was a small child. Developing and publishing my own game has always been a dream. I mean, why play the games? Why not just make one? This seems like the obvious jump. And I know that every single one of us in this room to some extent feels the same way. Here's the totally fantabulous news, guys. Hailstorm, yes, Takahiro, the biggest game development company in Japan at the moment, is willing to sponsor the groups that will represent the country in the international competition. Alright, that's pretty fucking boss. Let's do it. And they're starting their audition soon, right here in Sapporo. Miss Megumi claps her hands to her chest, looking incredibly happy. I'm sure it's awesome news, don't you think? At this point, we're also overwhelmed with the news. We all can't seem to say a word. Even Sumiki is just leaning back on the couch, blinking and staring into the distance. Aren't you thrilled? This means that you, Takahiro, can finally be recognized as a programmer outside of our school. You, Kitamura, as a singer and musician. You, Ai, as an anime-style artist. You, Sumiki, as a writer. And you, Jun, as a game director. Ooh, game director. I like the sound of that. She looks at us one by one, this excited and amazed expression never leaving her eyes, not even for a second. This is a great opportunity for all of you. Apart from Mrs. Enthusiastic words, the room is so quiet, I swear you could hear a pin drop in this place. If I'm not mistaken, all 5 of us are thinking the exact same thing. Glance at Takahiro. Everybody's gonna ask that question again. I have a question. Yeah, here he goes. Miss Megumi's smile falters for a moment before getting bigger. Yes, what is it? Aren't we just gonna get stumped by the other groups? This time Mrs. Smile disappears completely. You made her sad, you bastard. She looks at Takahiro, that makes it seem like he just asked her in a different language. What do you mean, Takahiro? The bespectacled guy twiddles with his fingers, barely even making eye contact with our teacher. We don't make traditional video games after all. His reply only seems to make Mrs. Megumi even more confused. Don't you have a project ready for this semester? Project ready. Oh, that was a good one. We do, but it's... Takahiro looks at me for help. Don't look at me for help, buddy. I tried to get you all back on track. What else can I do? Cleared my throat before replying. I don't want to give an air of professionalism. We're making a story-based game. A visual novel, miss. Miss blinks at us. She apparently doesn't have a name. She has... It's Megumi, right? Let's call her Megumi. Miss Megumi. I hold my breath as I wait for her answer. Oh. Oh. I feel my heart shatter as I hear oh. Man, they're not gonna want a visual novel game, man. That's so niche. No one plays those games. I knew it. It was too good to be true. There's no way they'll be sponsoring visual novels, man. It's not a broad appeal. Hailstorm's games are all multiplayer shooting games or MOBA games after all. Oh, I get it. Blizzard, right? Hailstorm? Yeah, okay, I get it. Alright. I never should have gotten my hopes up. That's perfectly alright. Miss Megumi smiles at us, looking absolutely amused. Actually, there will be lots of categories in the competition, so Hailstorm is looking for mini groups that will cater to each category. Story-based games like visual novels have their own category, so your group still qualifies for the audition. Oh boy, that's good news. Alright. Wow, I didn't think you were all worried about that. Of course we were. We didn't want to get our hopes up for nothing. Whoops. Was that what was happening? Unfortunately, yeah. Miss Megumi giggles happily. Oh, you are truly adorable. No, of course I wouldn't tell you if it was just for nothing. Really? You seem like you would. Nah, she's too sweet. Sakumi sighs. Thank goodness. Takahiro suddenly stands up, pumping a fist in the air. Then, does that mean we really have a chance of joining? But of course, nobody said you didn't have a chance. As a matter of fact, I'm encouraging you to join. We're doing it. Finally, I can get a chance to be recognized as an international musician. I can be a mangaka. Tsukimi looks at Ai kindly. Not really, but you'll be on your way there. Yay? Oh, Ai. Miss Megumi nods enthusiastically. You can all be those if you get the sponsorship. So then, the other one leans in on, okay, well, back up, lady. I got some space here. Looking at our programmer's face, I think it's a little too close if you ask me. Talking hero, that pervert. Miss Megumi seems oblivious to this, however. Once again, she seems to be bursting at the seams over something unknown to us at the moment. Let's see what you've done so far. What? Can I just get a peek of it? I'd be thrilled to see any progress whatsoever. Boy, you know what? I just asked myself the same question. Involuntarily, I started to fumble my seat. I don't, progress, huh? Oh, you know what? I left it at home. Damn. Next time? Brain check? Can't help it. You trying to make an excuse why we can't show her? I can't come up with anything. Do we really have to show you, miss? Miss Megumi thinks for a moment. Well, not really, no. Auditions are a completely separate event after all, so our school has no control over who would want to enter that. However, we want to ensure that you're actually doing something in order to prepare for the auditions and not wasting the club's money. After all, our school is trying to promote its support for sub-heroes budding young developers. That's the reason why we're encouraging you to audition. Of course, you would be momentarily excused from schoolwork during the audition week in order to let you focus on the auditions. That's why we'd like to know that we are on the right track on choosing which groups to allow. If the school sees fit, then it might not excuse you from any missed schoolwork during that time. Oh boy, we all glance at each other uncomfortably. Well, this sure is awkward. Both Takahiro and Yui look away, a guilty expression on their faces. I has her usual blank look, but I can tell that she's at least a little uncomfortable. Sugimiki just turns her gaze downward, looking shameful. I have to admit, I do feel a little embarrassed as well. How can we tell our advisor, who had just given us such awesome news, that we haven't actually started on anything regarding the game development? I mean, sure, we decided to focus on something, but what we've decided to focus on, we don't even know yet. Until now, we haven't even finalized our outline for the project. It's absolutely mortifying to have to admit this to her. Miss Megumi patiently waits for our response with the same expectant look. I looked to everyone in my group for help, but unfortunately, none of them would meet my gaze. Not even I now was willing to look up at me. Miss, it's a little bit complicated, but she tips her head a little bit to the side, well, again looking quite confused. Well, I take a deep breath before continuing. My throat feels so dry that I could barely even speak. Okay, now, hypothetical. What if we tell you that we haven't started on the development yet, miss? She frowns, looking at me like I just told her a joke at a bad time. Why, of course I'd find it funny. Much to my dismay and further shame, she giggles, proving her point. I rub my wrist with my other hand, trying to calm myself down. I really don't want to resort to my powers. I don't know how I can keep calm with her reacting this way. You've been back to school for almost 2 weeks now. How can you possibly not have made any progress yet in that time? It's all them. I tried, you know. Captain can't do much with a rowdy crew on his ship. But anyway, as I was saying, can I see your progress so far? Sumiki looks at me, her eyes looking stern. It seems like her protective mode has kicked in once again, and she now is regarding me with a purely serious look. Her eyes seem ready to kill. And by kill, that means to be honest in this case. I'm pretty sure the effects are the same anyway. Both will cause my death. You see, miss... miss... Before she can continue further, I decide to cut her off. I have no idea what goes in that girl's mind sometimes, and knowing that she dislikes Miss Megumi doesn't help one bit. Really? How could you not? Miss Megumi seems pretty cool. She's like the kind of teacher I would like to have. For all I know, she could say it really bluntly, and that might rub Miss Megumi the wrong way. We're already in a pretty deep hole right now. I don't want to dig it even deeper. Actually, miss, that wasn't just hypothetical. A surprised look appears on Mrs. face. She looks really pissed. I cringe inwardly, trying to formulate my words in my mind before letting them out. We haven't made any progress yet so far. No progress. Yeah. Not even sketches? Nope. Ideas? Well, it's a visual novel with RPG elements, that much we know. What about the actual plot? It's in the works. Can I see the draft? We don't have one. Not even a single thing written down? No. Nothing? Nothing. As of now, I'm sure that will change in the future. As I continue talking, Miss Megumi's face grows more and more upset. Oh boy, I'm almost afraid to continue. I'm fear that she'll get even more disheartened. But I remember, we finished one thing. That's right. We decided to start brainstorming first for writing our art. That's something, isn't it? For some moments, Miss Megumi doesn't say anything, and neither do we. Once again, the room has turned so silent that if a pin was dropped here, I'm pretty sure we'd all hear it loud and clear. Finally, after a few extremely tense minutes, our advisor clears her throat to speak. I'll forgive you for now. Whew. Oh, thank God. But I'm telling you, I'm very disappointed. Oh, that's even worse. Can't you just yell at us? She regards us sternly, making the degree of her disappointment very clear to us. And to be honest, I can't really blame her either. Even I feel disappointed in ourselves. If only I was able to use my powers at this consistent rate, or maybe I could have done something about this. But no, even I have failed myself. We're very sorry, miss. We'll make it up to you, I promise. Miss Megumi's usually cheerful look has now disappeared, replaced by the stern yet guiding look of someone who's already experienced things in life. I don't need empty words, Jun. Many groups all over Superior are dying to have this opportunity. Don't you understand? You are lucky that you're being encouraged to do so. So if you want to make it up to the school, she looks me right in the eyes, and to me, then you have to show it. Prove it. Understood? We all nod slowly to her. Yes, ma'am. At this point, I'm just happy that she's even giving us a chance. In a flash, her face goes back to its usual cheery smile, which I'm starting to believe is some facade for something. Okie dokie, guess it's time for me to go now. I just really wanted to tell you that news and check on you. I'm glad you're really psyched about joining. Yeah, we wouldn't miss it for the world, miss. That's good. Clapping her hands together, she stands up to leave, and that smile still on her face. She may not be the most experienced teacher in our school, but I'm glad that she's our advisor. She's pretty sweet. Even if sometimes it does seem like she doesn't care about our academics, when a royal boils down to something, she always pulls through. Do your best. Thank you, miss. Miss Megumi walks toward the door, pulling the handle open. We watch as she disappears from our sight. For a few seconds, we all remain silent. The only sound in the whole room is the quiet tick-tock of the clock hanging on the far wall. Which only serves to remind me how the clock ticks while we're wasting time doing unrelated stuff. I hear Yui let out a relieved sigh. Well, that was pretty overwhelming. You said it, dude. That was definitely interesting. I nods her head up and down. At least she looks a little bit enthusiastic for once. Yes. I smile, though I can't help but shake my head. Still, it was pretty embarrassing. Hey, it's only been 2 weeks. That's alright, Jun. I'm sure the team is motivated now that we know about this opportunity. Yeah, that's right. We got a new lease on life. Let's do it. Definitely hope so. That's why I'm dismissing us early tonight. No sense in trying to scramble our ideas tonight. I'm sure we're all still pumped up from the announcement. Sweet. Yahoo! I can procrastinate tonight. The fuck you can. I want papers on my desk tomorrow. I want ideas. I give Yui a disapproving look, stomping her in her proverbial tracks. I do hope the next time we meet, you can already pitch a story ideas for us to actually start somewhere. Sumiki just smiles as she glances at Yui, who gives her half-irritated, half-embarrassed glare. Sheesh, yes. Aye, aye, Captain. That's right, aye, Captain. Club meeting's over, thank God. Whew, that's stressful. I've got time to spare. I wonder where I should go next. I get to move around. Oh, look at this. Can I click on these people? Click on... Oh. I decided to take a walk around the school before I go home, trying to get my thoughts in order. Frankly, I'm not really sure how to think about the announcement. On one hand, I know it's something good. If we ever manage to snag the spot, it could change everything. You know, it could be our big break as, you know, young developers. And that's all that matters. You know, people develop games and never get noticed all the time. But to be noticed by a huge developing brand, that's, you know, that's awesome. And by that, I mean everything. Everything changes. But why do I strangely feel that it's not going to work out? I mean, why do I feel like I'm just setting myself up and my team for failure? Get a hold of yourself, Jun. You can't give up just yet. We haven't even started. You can't give up just yet is correct. I turn around looking for the source of the voice. Miss Megumi is standing at the end of the hallway, a small smile on her face. Miss Megumi, pleasure to see you. She starts walking towards me, her heels making a click-clack sound on the hard floor. Looking at her now, she just seems like any other teacher, but in our school, people always say that she's the worst teacher they've ever had, which is mean. Don't say that. In 1 year, she gave 12 students failing marks just because they failed to be present in her homeroom meetings. Okay, it's kind of a jerk thing to do, but whatever. Maybe she's got a strict attendance policy. I don't know. In another year, she filed a school case against a group of guys who had been teasing their female classmates. That's fine. Don't tease people. That's mean. Most of the time, though, she apparently doesn't care much about her students at all, often just handing out assignments and giving lectures briefly, before dismissing everyone for the rest of the period. Okay, that's alright. You know, those are just some of the reasons why she's been branded the least respected teacher award by a mean bunch. I've only been her student for a year, but I already feel like fighting whenever I hear that, you know? She's definitely not the worst, not even close. I mean, man. I wonder if anyone ever tried to contest that rumor, though. What's the problem, Jun? What's on your mind? She stops right in front of me, a smile still on her face. I feel almost guilty for what I've been thinking just mere seconds ago. Stupid Jun. Of course those rumors are false. Don't you even dare consider them as truth. Miss Megumi looks me up and down, a worried look suddenly crossing her face. Are you sure you don't have a problem? No. I was just thinking. Thinking? About what? Things. You know. To my surprise, she suddenly does a sideways glance. You know, Jun, you've never been a good liar. How am I lying? I'm thinking about stuff. My mind goes back to the first time that I forgot to do my homework for the day. Before the class had begun, Miss Megumi asked each of us to submit the papers to her. I told her that I had simply forgotten mine at home. She agreed to let me submit the next day, but with a 10% grade reduction. The truth was, I only did it in a rush that night once I finally got home. Reminds me when I had to write my sociology papers, I would literally do them like right before class. But I did pretty well in them regardless, so, you know, it is what it is. Does this mean she saw through me then? I gulped, feeling sweaty all of a sudden. What do you mean? You've only been my student for a year, but I'm already able to read you well. You know why? Why? Because lying has never been your strong suit. Now tell me, what's the matter? Come on. I couldn't keep a secret from her, not when she's this sharp. Actually, miss, I'm just a little nervous. Nervous about what? If it's about your grades, I may not be able to do much. No, it's about the game development competition. Her eyes grow wide at the mention of the upcoming event. What about it? Are you planning to pull out your group? No. She gives me a look. Not really. Again, she just looks at me. I guess I really can't hide anything from her, huh? Fine, I admit. I'm not really confident that we can make it, you know? I mean, our group is very disorganized, you know, we can't think of anything, we disagree on everything. And, you know, I just feel like that's ultimately going to hurt our chances. To my surprise, she just nods slowly, her facial expression not changing at all. And why is that? What? And why is that you're not feeling confident? Don't you have faith in your team, Jun? Sometimes I feel like I'm the one who's working harder on a game, you know? Even when it's my top priority, it seems like everyone else has it out there last. Miss Megumi sighs as she places one hand on my shoulder. You know what they say, there's no I in team. You have to have faith in your team, Jun. You have to trust them, believe that they can do it. Only then will you be able to achieve what you want to do together. Miss Megumi. She smiles again. Always keep that in mind, okay, Jun? You know, People may say she's a bad teacher, but if anyone says she's a bad person, I'm definitely kicking their butt. Thank you, miss. I really need to hear that. She just nods, still smiling. I'll see you again tomorrow, okay? Yes, miss. I just watch as my homework teacher and club advisor turns to leave. She's definitely right. It was wrong for me to even doubt them, not even for a single second. Let's keep fighting, team. Yeah, fight. Once again, we meet up in our little humble room in order to work on our game. Today is Story Pitch Day, also known as We Better Start Now or Else Day. Because we better start today or else, we run the risk of not being able to make it to the list of officially approved and excused groups to audition. We have to have something by signups. We've been having our discussion for about an hour now, and finally we've decided on an idea that can finally jumpstart our project. I still can't believe it took us this long to stop headbutting and finally formulate in a solid idea, but hey, it's better late than never, right? Tsumiki, can you please read what we have so far? When he was a child, a young man once had a dream where he fell into a hidden portal beneath his bed. In his dream, he was transported to a different world where magical creatures lived. Years later, he rediscovers his hidden portal and realizes that it wasn't a dream after all. Now, an evil king has taken over the highest kingdom of this strange world, and it is up to the young man to defeat him and bring peace back to their world before it spills over into his own world. I nod, thinking her quietly. So, this is what I came up with Tsumiki last night. I have to admit that we hadn't thought everything through yet, but that's because we still like to discuss the plot with you guys. Does anyone have any comments? I glance at each other's teammates' faces. Of the three, Yui seems to be the one bursting with comments, and not good ones either. I just give her a patient smile. Yeah, what seems to be the problem, Yui? She frowns deeper, expressing her displeasure in the most visible way possible. Well, I don't agree with the reason of our main character for going on his journey. What do you mean? Seriously, leaving to become a protector of the world beneath his bed? Man, isn't that lame? And aren't there any consequences that he might face for doing that? I suppose there are some, like the time it'll take him to do his missions, but we can make it so that the time in his world and the hidden world don't run the same way. Well, that brings up some contradictions, like the deadline before the evil king's evilness spills over to the guy's own world. I thought he has to race against the clock or something. Well, perhaps time could run faster in the hidden world then. Well, whatever, if you're going to stick to that, then you should change the branching plots. There's so many things that could still be better. I mean, does he even have any incentives to fight battles with that king? How will he even do that? Does he have powers or something? Well, he does have powers, but he's very conflicted about it. Huh? I don't get it. There's no reason for him to be conflicted. He should use it if he has it. No, she has a point with that one. But then again, she's probably not aware of what it feels like to be conflicted because of having powers, not having them herself. It's really not a very good feeling. Okay, your concern is valid. But let's consult with the others. Others? I look at the other members of the team who are all doing their own stuff. Takahira's working on the computer, eyes making sketches while Tsumiki is equipped with her notepad, drafting out more plot ideas. What do you guys think? Should we change the plot? Takahira barely looks up at us from the screen. Leave it. Before I could react, Yui suddenly stands up from her seat. Her temper for today seems to be even more fiery than usual. What? No, that's confusing. The reader will be confused. Plus, like I said, the story is very weak. No, it's not. It's not only a visual novel, it's also an RPG. And as an RPG, it's completely fine. Tsumiki looks back and forth from the two looking torn. So, should I leave it or change it? I think I'm getting a migraine. We have Advil here. I run toward Ai, still making sketches on a pad. Ai, what do you think? She responds without even looking up from her drawing. Minor revision. Oh, great, a tie. I pinched the bridge of my nose, feeling frustrated. Knowing these guys, it won't be easy to fix this. Jeez. If only they'd stop bickering. I guess I have no choice. I close my eyes. They left me with no other choice. It's time to conjure my powers. Hey Jun, tell me what you think. I can feel her eyes on me, but I can't respond now. If I do, it will break my concentration. All of this will be useless if that happens. I can never seem to conjure my powers when I don't have full concentration on it. And I usually can't fully concentrate on something, so unless I usually can't use my I usually can't concentrate on something, so I usually can't use my powers either. But now I have no choice. I have to be able to use it. Jun, hey, answer me. I can hear the agitation rising in Yui's voice, but I just can't talk to her right now. I'm almost done summoning my powers. I want to make them stop fighting. If I want it hard enough, I can do it. Concentrate, concentrate, concentrate. Jun! I hear someone marching toward me. To my surprise, I suddenly feel somebody shove my shoulder quite hard, setting me a few steps back from where I'm standing. I opened my eyes, unable to believe that someone in my team had done such a thing. Takahiro, why did you do that? Sumiki is standing looking at Takahiro angrily. Did you see what he was doing? He was probably thinking of using his powers again. What, does he really think magic exists? Sumiki glances at me. For the briefest of moments, I thought I saw a sliver of concern in her eyes. You did not have to hurt him. That was not very nice. My eyes meet Takahiro's. I expected to see anger or irritation, but instead I saw none of it. Instead, I see something akin to worry or even pity. I don't understand. Why is he looking at me that way? Before I could say something, Sumiki had already pulled Takahiro away from me. She points angrily at him, still looking all fired up. Do not ever do that again. The only other guy in the team scratches the back of his head, stealing a glance at me with an apologetic look on his face. Yes. Sumiki stabs a slender finger in my direction. Tell him, not me. Jeez, how awkward. Takahiro turns to me, still with that same look on his face. At least it seems like he genuinely regret what he did. Man, I'm sorry. I don't even know what's got into me. Slowly, I walk over to him. Man, this really isn't the time to get overly dramatic. Everybody else in the room seems to be holding their breath, waiting for my next move. I smile. As soon as I reach him, I pat him on the shoulder. It's okay, Taka. I'm a bit insulted that you refer to my powers as magic, which it's not. Taka looks down, barely able to return my gaze. Anyway, don't think too much of it, buddy. I'm not angry at all. But let's not get too carried away next time, shall we? He gives me a small smile back as the rest of our group sigh in relief. Guys, if we fight, we won't be able to do anything. If we really want to finish our game, we have to keep a calm mind and think things thoroughly all the time. Is that clear? I take their silence as a yes. Now, what do you suggest we do? This time, their silence can only indicate one thing. I sigh. Yui, I suggest that we talk your concern over with Sumiki or Takahiro, if it's a writing or branding issue. And if you allow me, I would like to give some inputs as well. We should be able to smooth out our little issues without losing our cool. After all, if we can't even do that, then how will we expect to tackle the bigger ones? Yui just sighs, nodding her head. I watch as she stands up to her seat and begrudgingly walks towards the other members of the team. I go back to my own work, which is checking and overseeing the production process on my own laptop. Apart from securing funds in order to produce our final output, my duty has always been to organizing resources and making sure that they're all in the right place. Sometimes files can get misplaced and it can be a huge hassle to reorganize stuff once again. That's why I always make sure that I organize everything right from the beginning. It's also my duty to make sure that everything is going smoothly, in-game and out. You know, sometimes it seems like ensuring everything smooth outside of the game is way harder. I shrug to myself and head over to discuss the details with the other three. Finally, after a very eventful day, club duty is over. Now, where should I go? Let's see here. Want to talk to Megumi again? Of course we do. I decided to walk around the school for a bit instead of heading straight home. It's not like anyone would have been there to welcome me home anyway, apart from our helpers. She was probably out with friends, Sumiki's probably at the bookstore, and my parents are probably busy making money for a son that they'll never even get to see because they don't have the time. Yep, definitely normal day in the life of Jun. I just sigh. On top of that, I've been failing my team, and I couldn't even get my powers to work. No wonder I'm depressed. With my head down, I just shuffle around aimlessly, trying to get all the sad thoughts out of my head. To my surprise, somebody suddenly places their hand on my shoulder. I look up, only to see our club advisor, Miss Megumi, looking at me with a worried expression on her face. Jun, what's the matter? Miss Megumi, are you alright? If you have a problem, you can tell me. I just sigh again. Of all the people in the world in this whole school, it has to be Miss Megumi, I see. We sit down on the bench as we both stare out into the field. Persistent as she is, I end up telling Miss Megumi everything that needs to be told. My doubts, my worries, and my powers. At first she just looked really surprised, but she seemed to accept it rather well. Have you always had those powers then? No, I don't remember much, but I was just a child when I first got to use them. I'm pretty sure they worked back then. Even I was surprised, but she just stares at me silently. You don't believe me, do you? Miss Megumi gives me a small smile. About your powers? Yeah. She narrows her eyes in thought. Let's just say I've always been skeptical of those sorts of things, Jun. I sigh again. Oh, but don't get me wrong. I may not believe in your powers, Jun, but I do believe in you. In me. In your own self. I just look down, my self-esteem plummeting off the cliff. Lately, I haven't believed in my own self much, miss. And why is that? You know, I used to think I was the only one who took this game seriously, but now... You know, I just realized that it doesn't matter that it was my top priority if I can't contribute anything to it anyway. I feel like that sometimes. Jun. I hate being a burden to all of them. If I could use my powers, then... Didn't you just tell me that your powers haven't been working in a while? Yes, but... She shifts in her seat, looking serious all of a sudden. I'll give you a scenario, alright? Okay. Suppose that I gave you a paper to write with a partner. And suppose that the partner I gave you is the worst partner on Earth. He hardly does anything, he always disappears, and he doesn't even respond whenever you need him. What would you feel? I'm taken aback at her question. I mean, the answer's so obvious that I don't think I even need to answer it. Well, heck, I definitely report him to you, miss. That's one unreliable partner right there. Will you ask to be his partner again for the next assigned work? Oh, no way. I drop him like a hot potato. To my surprise, she smiles at me in that knowledgeable way only someone experienced can. Well, suppose that you did indeed have powers. Why in the world would you trust something so unreliable? The realization of her analogy suddenly hits me. I feel myself get hot in the face due to embarrassment. Well... Same as with the assigned paper in our scenario, Jun. You shouldn't rely on your powers too much. Why, you shouldn't rely on it at all. It should be dropped like a hot potato, as you said. You know who you can rely on? I shake my head silently, still feeling quite ashamed. Yourself. Your team. And, of course, me. You. Miss Megumi smiles at me kindly. Of course, I'm your advisor, after all. If there's anything you need, don't hesitate to approach me, alright? I promise you, I won't be like that unreliable partner that you'd want to drop like a hot potato. For a few seconds, I couldn't say anything. I was just utterly surprised at how sincere her words sounded. Finally, I bow down, feeling extremely grateful. Thank you, miss. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Jun. I'll get going now, if you don't mind. As I watch her walk away, I replay all the times in my head that I watched other people make fun of her. Her teaching skills, her relationships with her students, herself. You know, I think teachers always get a lot of unnecessary crap from students who don't understand them. You know, some seem to think that when they put themselves in front of us, they're also opening themselves up to criticism, to be the butt of jokes for frustrated students who just can't get heads or tails of their lives in order. I used to be one of those students. But now I know better. And I know, if I ever see one of those events happening again in front of me, I'll definitely do something about it. For Miss Megumi. Yeah, Miss Megumi. The phosphorus cycle. Oh. Nitrogen cycle. Carbon cycle. Water. Ow! Actually, I banged my knee quite painfully on the trash can in front of me. Oh, jeez. What the heck are you doing in the middle of the road? Phosphorus. It's exam time once again. And I can't waste even a single second by not looking at my notes every chance I get. And since one of the very few chances I have of doing my reviews while walking on the way to school, then so be it. Sumiki and Shiro looked really funny when I told them I would walk, actually. We'd usually have the driver drive us three of us over every morning. But not today, no. I decided not to come with them today. I need to get my blood circulating, and I can't do that by sitting comfortably inside a car. Exercising while reviewing at the same time? Talk about an ideal student. Oh, man. I rubbed the sore spot on my knees. But damn, that hurt. Ow. As expected, the hallways are packed with students who are all reviewing amongst themselves. Everywhere you look, everyone is holding their notes and studying, or at least trying to. Even though I don't like schoolwork very much, I do enjoy seeing people work so hard for something they want. I know I should be able to use my power for most things, but it sucks that I can't use it for exams. I've already tried so many times. I walk along the hallway, looking for a spot where I could sit down and continue studying. Finally, the two students stand up to leave at the far corner. My eyes still on my nose, so I start walking towards the direction of the newly opened spot, only to be bumped by somebody. Hey, watch where you're going, wimp. I look up. That voice can only be one person's. I knew it. It's Kagura, the head of my rival group. Behind him are teammates, also known as his goons. They have a sort of dog-like loyalty to him that seems to go beyond their game development group. But anyway, as far as I know, his group's specialty is also visual novels. Unlike us, however, that's already a fact, because they've already created games, usually released during school festivals and school events. I've never played a game of theirs, but I think the themes are usually action and fantasy. The reviews are actually pretty good. It's just that, well, Kagura and I go a long way back, and the history between us isn't good. So I don't want to accidentally show support by playing something he made, you know. Yeah, I'm spiteful. I'll admit it. Kagura frowns at me. Hey, small fry, aren't you gonna apologize? I just continue staring at him. There's no way I'm gonna say sorry to this guy, but I'm pretty sure he bumped me on purpose anyway. The other students in the hallway have already taken notice of what's happening and starting to murmur amongst themselves. Kagura glances at them before turning back to me. His eyes glow even darker as he stares down at me. Of course, conflict would be bad for his image. Not that it was good to begin with anyway. To my surprise, he suddenly leans closer to me. Don't you dare mess around with me, you got that? Not when you know I'm already a step higher than you are. I bet you're planning on joining the auditions for Hailstorm sponsorship, huh? I say not a single word, but I make it clear in my eyes that my answer is yes. He seems to have taken the hint. You better just give up now. My team is joining too, and there's no way you can beat us. An arrogant smirk appears on his face. You never even finished a project, not once. How can someone like that ever dream of competing? Will always be below me. Always remember that, Mizushima. And just like that, he leaves, bumping my shoulder again as he does so. His goons just smirk at me as they follow their leader, going out of my sight. Can't help but sigh in relief after they left. Man, what an ass. Well, at least there wasn't a fight. Totally would have won, but... I resume my walk towards the open spot. However, in the ruckus, it seems like somebody has gotten it already. Gosh, dang it. It's a pretty nice spot, too. I like that spot. By the window, it's all nice and sunny. Oh, the ideal spot. Everyone likes that spot. Stupid Kagura. Jun? I whirl around hearing another familiar voice. This time, it was the one I was pleased to hear. Sumiki, how you doing? I see her sitting with Ai and Yui beside her, a concerned look on their faces. We were studying in the classroom when some students started saying that a fight might start in the hallway. We would not have gone out if only we had not heard Kagura's name. We thought it could be you. Yui gives a cheeky grin. Never thought you'd have it in you to fight someone, man. But I bet it's better to be safe than sorry. I just smirk at them, striking a confident pose. Oh, don't worry, guys. I wouldn't fight Kagura. I don't waste my power on such trivial and irrelevant things. The awkward glances that they share with each other don't escape me. I wonder why they're always like this whenever I mention my power. Oh well, perhaps they're not yet used to seeing a human being with actual powers. I don't blame them. Anyway, are you alright? She looks really worried, a far cry from the usual Sumiki, who always tries to hide her emotions. I'm fine, really. What did he say to you? Well, something about games. The atmosphere between the four of us suddenly grows heavier all of a sudden. That guy's gonna audition for the sponsorship too, won't he? I nod, giving them a small smile to make it seem less serious than it is. Well, perhaps we have a different niche from them. Nope, our niche is completely the same. Visual novels. Oh. So Mickey still looks worried, but I can see that she's trying her best not to look too dampened by the news. Not to look too, that's the wrong form of too. Developers. Kagura's group is one of the best in our school, is it not? Oh, it is. But that's alright. I offer her a hopeful smile. We shouldn't give up. I know we can pull this off successfully. I glance at the notebook Gatsumiki is holding. Mathematics. She's probably tutoring these two. Game development is certainly the least of our problems when we've got schoolwork in the way. And though I personally want to focus on our game, especially for that little incident with Kagura, I don't want to force the same thing on them. It's not fair. Don't think about it for now, alright? We'll just focus on our exams first, then we can worry about this the game. The three of them share apprehensive glances before nodding hesitantly at me. Good. Way to go, you three. Like, do your best too, Jun. Yeah, you better. I'll give them all a thumbs up before turning away. Man, I don't want them to see the disappointment in my face any longer. Man, if only I knew how to help everyone. I looked down on my hands. If only my power was more reliable. Damn it, I know it's in here somewhere. How come I can't use it? It did work many years ago, back when I almost... I shake my head. Now's definitely not the time to be reminiscing bad memories. Exams will start in an hour. I should be studying right now. For my sake and my group's. Alrighty. Well, I've played a decent amount of this game. It seems like a pretty fun game. It's $15 on Steam currently. There's also a demo you can download on the Kickstarter page below. So it seems pretty fun. It seems interesting. You know, I kind of like the whole game development group thing. That seems pretty cool, right? And yeah. And that's it for this quick look. And I will see you next time. Have a good day. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, leave a like. And if you want to see more of this and other series, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a single video. Also, I invite you to check out the Discord of the channel where I will be posting news and announcements of upcoming quick looks or Let's Plays. And also just to chat with me directly. It's a great way to reach me. And also, if you're interested in other VNs, I also stream visual novel games on my Twitch channel, which is below.